Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 10th. So students, we are studying direct and indirect speech, and till now we have discussed so many rules that are related to with direct and indirect speech and the rules that we have to follow when we are converting one sentence from direct into indirect speech, right? And yes, we have discussed first of all assertive sentence in which we are having positive and negative sentence, and then we discuss interrogative sentence of two kinds. First, in which we are having any auxiliary verb, and second, in which we are having any WH word. So that much we have discussed. I am sure that all the rules, everything that we have discussed is clear to you all. And now we will continue the same topic in our today's video, and in this video we will see some more different types of sentence and the rules that are related with those sentence. And yes, we will discuss some examples also to clear the thing. So now let's begin our today's video, that is based on direct and indirect speech. So now let's see what we are having next. So the next type of sentence that we are having here, that is known as imperative sentence. So now we will see all the rules that are related with the conversion of imperative sentence. So imperative sentence, it may be there in the direct speech. So if we are having any imperative sentence in the direct speech, then how we have to do the conversion, then what are the rules that we have to follow, all those things we will discuss here in this topic. So first of all, let's try to understand what imperative sentence actually mean. The sentence which expresses order, advice, request, command, etc. are known as imperative sentence. So first of all, we are having a small definition, or we can say a small introduction of imperative sentence, that what kind of sentence are known as imperative sentence. So we are having here that all the sentence, they are having the meaning of order, or we can say advice, request or command. So it means that the sentence will express such kind of mood, such kind of emotion. So those sentences are known as imperative sentence. Imperative sentence can be both positive and negative. And yes, we are having one more important thing here, and the thing is that imperative sentence, they can be in positive manner also, and yes, they can be in negative manner also. So first of all, I'm sure that this thing is clear to you all what imperative sentence means. So one more time I am repeating, so students listen very carefully. Imperative sentence means a sentence in which we are having some order, some request, some command, or we can say some kind of advice. Clear? Second thing we are having that yes, imperative sentence, they can be positive also and they can be negative also. And yes, we can convert all kinds of imperative sentence into indirect speech. So now we are having all the rules that are related with the conversion of imperative sentence. So now we have to understand all the rules. So let's see the first one. Change the reporting verb into some verb expressing command, request or advice. So till now this thing is clear to us that the first change that we have to do is in the reporting verb, right? अब तक हमने reporting verb को कैसे change किया था? In the assertive sentence we were converting said to into told, and in the interrogative sentence we were converting said to into asked. So this thing is clear that the first change we have to do, that is in the reporting verb. So if we are having the imperative sentence, then what change will be there in the reporting verb? So that thing we are having here. So now we have to convert the verb. Now we have to convert said or said to in any kind of verb that is expressing command, request or we can say advice. So for that we are having so many options. So let's see, we can use ordered, advised, requested, command, urged, forbade, told, asked, etc. So what it means? So basically here we are having this thing that first of all we have to read the sentence that is there in the direct speech very carefully. Then we have to observe the feeling. Then we have to understand that what is the mood that is given in the sentence. It is a advice, it is a request, it is a order, what kind of mood is there. And then according to the mood we have to pick one word from all these options that we are having here. So if you are having this kind of feeling that in the direct speech you are having some kind of advice, then you can choose advised, right? If you are having this kind of feeling that there is some kind of request, then you go for requested. If there is some kind of order, then you can opt for this word, that is ordered, right? So according to the mood of the sentence, you have to choose any word, and for that we are having so many options with us. It must be best suited to the sense or content. So this is the most important thing. So whatever word we are choosing, that should be the best suited word according to the mood of the sentence. So yes, we have to use, or we can say we have to pick one word that is actually having best suitability with the mood of the sentence. So for that, first of all, we have to read the sentence very carefully. We have to observe that what kind of mood or what kind of feeling is there in the sentence, and then according to that we have to choose one word that actually suited best with the mood of the sentence. Clear? So this is the first change that we have to do, and this change will be there in the reporting verb. Moving on, now we are having the second change. So let's see. Change the imperative mood into infinitive mood by putting to before the verb of the reported speech. In the case of a negative imperative, the auxiliary do is dropped and to is placed after not. So now we are talking about the second change. So now I am sure that this thing is clear to all of you, because we have discussed actually so many examples in the previous video, that first of all we are doing the first change in the reporting verb, and then the second change occurred when we remove the comma. So then we have to add one conjunction. So now that we are talking about here, that in imperative sentence what conjunction we have to use. So let's see. So first of all, we are having that whatever mood we are having in the imperative sentence, so we have to convert that into infinitive mood, and for that we have to use it to before the verb of the reported speech. It means before reported speech we have to use it to. It means in imperative sentence to is used as a conjunction. Right. One another point we are having here, because we have discussed earlier that imperative sentence, it can be in negative form also. So if our imperative sentence is in negative form, then obviously हमारा जो indirect speech है वो भी negative form में होगा. So for that we have to use negative word. We have to add one negative word. So we will add not, and where we will add not? We will add not to just before to. Okay, so this is the rule. So I am repeating this thing. In imperative sentence we have to add to as a conjunction, and if negative sentence is in the negative form, then we have to add one negative word. So for that we can use not in the indirect speech. Okay. Now let's see the another point. When we remove commas as a conjunction, we add to. So this is the thing that we have discussed. In negative imperative sentence, we add not just before to. Clear? So now we are having the examples to clear the thing. So let's see the first one. He said to me, do it. So first of all, we have to be very careful, and we have to recognize that we are having imperative sentence. And how can we say so that do it, it's a kind of imperative sentence? So we can observe that this sentence is starting with the first form of the main verb. So जितने भी imperative sentence होते हैं in which we are having any kind of advice, order, request or command, so all such sentences, they start with the first form of the main verb. So with the help of this thing we can identify, we can recognize that we are having imperative sentence. So now when this thing is clear, so according to the rules, now we have to do the conversion. So first of all, the first change that we have to do, it will be in the reporting verb. So in reporting verb we are having said to. So now we have to observe the mood, that what kind of mood we are having here. Do it. Yes, it can be a advice, it can be a order, and it can be a request also. So it's not clear. So when the mood of the imperative sentence, it is not clear, then we can use or ask in the reporting verb as well. Yes, it is a very important thing. So what I am saying here, if the mood of the sentence is very much clear, then according to that we have to change said to. But if the mood is not clear, then we can go for this option also. Then we can use asked in the reporting verb, we can use asked in the indirect speech. So here we are using asked and we are writing he asked me. Now when we are removing the comma, so we have to add one conjunction, and because it's an imperative sentence, so what is our conjunction? Our conjunction is to, and after that we are continuing with the first form of the main verb and we are writing to do it. So our complete sentence will be he asked me to do it, and here to plus first form, it is known as to infinitive. So to infinitive means to plus first form. So yes, we are using to infinitive according to the rule that we have discussed. And now these are the changes that we are doing in the conversion of the imperative sentence. Okay. So we are having some more examples here. So let's see. He said to me, don't do it. So now we are having imperative sentence, but a negative imperative sentence, because we are having don't means do not. So we are having negative imperative sentence here. So now let's see, now let's observe all the changes that we are doing here. So first of all, said to, it is converted into asked and we are writing he asked me. Now another change, second one, when we are removing the commas, so in the place of commas we have to add one word as a conjunction. So our conjunction is to, but because it's a negative sentence, so in the indirect speech also we have to maintain the form, we have to maintain the negative structure of the sentence, and for that we have to add one negative word. So here we are using not, और not हमें कहाँ add करना है? Not, it will be there just before to. So this is the thing that we have to be very careful about. The thing is that imperative sentence, when we are converting, so as a conjunction we have to use to, right? But if we are having a negative sentence in direct speech, so when we are converting the sentence, so in the indirect speech also we have to maintain the structure, we have to maintain the negative structure. So for that we have to add a negative word. So we are using not here and where just before to. So the complete sentence will be he asked me not to do it. Okay. One more example we are having. He said to me, please take your book. So in this sentence we are having please, and with the help of this word we can clearly say that we are having one request here. So when the mood of the sentence is very much clear, so according to that we are converting said to. So we are converting said to into request state. Why? Because of the help of please we can say that we are having one request here. So when the mood is very much clear, so according to that mood we have to do the change. So yes, we are converting said to into request state. This is the first change that we are doing in the reporting verb. So we are writing he requested me, right? So he requested me. Now when we are removing the comma, so we have to add one conjunction. And what is our conjunction in imperative sentence? Yes, we have to use to. After to we have to start with the first form of the main verb. So we are continuing with take my book. And yes, we are having pronoun here, and pronouns के चेंजेस जो हैं वो सेम रहेंगे जो हमने पहले डिटेल में डिस्कस हम कर चुके हैं, राइट? सो प्रोनाउन के चेंजेस दैट वी आर डूइंग इन द असर्टिव सेंटेंस आल्सो, इन इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंस आल्सो, सो ऑल दोस चेंजेस दे विल बी सेम. सो हियर वी आर हैविंग योर, दैट इज अ सेकंड पर्सन प्रोनाउन, एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू द रूल सेकंड पर्सन प्रोनाउन इट विल बी चेंज्ड अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑब्जेक्ट वी आर हैविंग मी. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी वी आर कन्वर्टिंग योर इनटू माय, right? And the complete sentence will be he requested me to take my book. So what we are having here? To infinitive. To infinitive what means? It means to plus first form of the verb. Okay, so according to that, as the conjunction we are using to, and after to we have to continue with the first form of the main verb, then it will be known as to infinitive. Okay, and yes, changes of pronoun they will be same as we are doing in the earlier videos also. So in this manner we can do the changes, we can do the conversion of one imperative sentence from direct into indirect speech. Clear? Next example we are having here, the headmaster said to the students, work hard as the examination is near. So now because we are having imperative sentence here, so according to the rules we are doing the changes. So first of all, said to, we are doing the conversion of said to, and according to the mode of the sentence we are converting said to into advised. Okay, so we are writing the headmaster advised the students. Clear? Second change we are doing, when we are removing the commas, so in the place of commas we are adding the conjunction. And what is our conjunction? The conjunction that we are using here is to. After to, we are continuing with the first form of the main verb, that is work. So we are continuing with that and we are writing to work hard as the examination. Okay, so now we are having is. So according to the rules of the tenses that we have discussed in the earlier videos, we have to convert the tenses in the past form. So here we are having is. So what is the past form of is? That is was and were, and according to that we are using was here, and after that near, and at the end of the sentence we are using one full stop, and the complete sentence will be, the headmaster advised the students to work hard as the examination was near. Okay. So now we are having one important note here. So let's see. Imperative negative may be transformed by using forbade. So it's one another rule that we are having, and according to that rule, if we are having imperative negative sentence, right, so then we are having one more option that we can use, and that option is that we can use forbade, and forbade, it's a kind of negative word. So this thing is clear that if we are having negative imperative sentence in direct speech, so when we are converting the sentence into indirect speech, then we have to maintain the negative form. So for that, one option is that we can use not, right, just before to, and the second option we are having here, the second option is that we can use forbade. Forbade, it's also a kind of negative word, and when we are using forbade in a sentence, so this word gives one negative meaning to the sentence. This word gives negative structure of the sentence. So now let's see the example that we are having here. He said to his son, do not play in the sun. So here we are having negative sentence because we are having do not here. So according to the rules we are doing the conversion when we are having negative imperative sentence. So one thing is clear that in the indirect speech also we have to maintain the negative structure. So for that we are converting said to into forbade. Clear? So here we are using he forbade his son. So when we are using forbade, so now it means that our sentence is having a negative form, because forbade, it's a kind of negative word. So now we don't need to add another negative word. Now we don't require to add not here just before to. Okay, so this is the reason when we are removing the commas. So now we are adding to, we are not adding not before to. Why? Because we have already used forbade in the sentence, and because of that we are having one negative structure already in the sentence. So here we are writing to, and after to we are continuing with the first form of the main verb, that is play. So we are writing play in the sun, and the complete sentence that we are having here, it will be he forbade his son to play in the sun. Okay, this structure is clear to you all. Next is he said to me, don't go out. Another negative imperative sentence we are having here. So according to the rules we are doing the conversion. Said to, it is converted into forbade. Now we are removing the commas, and in the place of commas we are using one conjunction, that is to. After to we are continuing with the first form of the main verb, that is go, and the complete sentence will be he forbade me to go out. Okay, so I hope this point is clear to you all, and now I am just doing one more example to clear this thing, so that both the options will be clear to you all, that when we are having negative imperative sentence, then what two options we are having, that we can opt in the conversion. So let's take one example. I am writing here, he said to the kids. Negative sentence we need here. So let's write don't play. Okay, let's take one small sentence only. So we are having that he said to the kids, don't play. So we are having two options here that we can opt to. So let's take the first one. Here we are writing he ordered, or we can say asked. So let's take asked. He asked the kids. Now because it's a negative sentence, so we are writing not to. Okay, and after that first form, that is play. So this is the first option that we are having. He asked the kids not to play. Clear? Second option, how can we write? We can use he forbade. Forbade, it's a negative word only. So in the place of asked, we are using forbade here. The same thing will be now. He forbade the kids. Now what is the change? In the place of not to, we are writing only to. We are skipping not. Why? Because in the sentence already we have used one negative word. So here we can skip another negative word. Now we don't require to write not here. So here we will write only to, and after to we have to write first form, that is play. So these are the two options that we are having, and both the options are absolutely right. We can go for any one of from these two options. So first option we are having, he asked the kids not to play. Second is he forbade the kids to play. Okay, and yes, both the options, they are absolutely right. You can use any one from these two options, right? And the thing that you have to remember, that when we are having negative sentence, then in the indirect speech also you have to maintain that structure. You have to maintain that negative form. Now we are having some another kinds of imperative sentence. So now we will discuss the sentence. They are beginning with let. So what actually let means and what rules now we have to follow, that we will discuss here. So we are having the rules. So let's read. So first rule, we are having that conjunction that is used. So students, don't get confused here. In imperative sentence till now we were using to as a conjunction, but now we are having that if the sentence is having let in the beginning, then now our conjunction will be that. Clear? Second point, when let expresses a proposal, the reporting verb is changed into proposed or suggested, and let is replaced by should. So one very important rule we are having here. So students, read one more time very carefully. According to the rule, if in the sentence let is expressing a mood of proposal, some kind of proposal is there in the sentence, then at that time reporting verb, it will be changed into proposed, or you are having one more option, you can change said to into suggested also, and the word let, it will be replaced by should. It means let, it will be removed and we have to write should in the sentence. Okay, so it means that if let is expressing a kind of proposal, then said to, it will be changed into proposed, or we can use suggested also, and in the place of let we have to use a should in the sentence. So let's see the example we are having. I said to them, let us go to the river for swimming. So here we are having let in the beginning of the sentence. So according to the rules that we have discussed, we are converting said to into proposed. Yes, so we are having two options. We can write proposed also and we can write suggested also. Okay, so we are using proposed here. So first change. Now second change, we are removing the commas, and in the place of comma we have to use one conjunction. And yes, the rules that we have discussed, according to that we are using that here as a conjunction. After that we have to make a simple positive sentence, a simple statement. So here we are writing, we should go to the river for swimming. So we have to remove let and we have to add should in the sentence to make a positive statement, to make one kind of assertive sentence. So the complete sentence will be, I proposed to them that we should go to the river for swimming. Okay. Next, he said to his friends, let us go to the picture. Again we are having let in the beginning of the sentence. So first change we are doing, said to, it is converted into proposed. So we are having he proposed to his friends. Second, when we are removing the comma, so we are adding one conjunction, and according to the rules we are adding that here as a conjunction. Now we are writing they should go to the picture. So yes, we have to remove let, and in the place of let we have to add should in the sentence. So the complete sentence will be, he proposed to his friends that they should go to the picture. Next, if the word let denotes permission, it is changed into some phrases as might be allowed or simply into the infinitive to. So now we are having another mood that is expressed with the help of let. So first of all we have discussed that if let is having the mood of proposal, now we are having that if the word let it denotes some kind of permission, then what changes we have to do. So at that time जो हमें phrases है वो हमें use करनी है कौन कौन सी. One option is that we can use might be allowed, and the second option is that we can simply use infinitive to. So let's see some of the example to clear this thing in very detailed manner. Let's see the example that we are having here. The boy said to them, let me work now. So in this sentence we are having let here, and with the help of this let we are not having the kind of a proposal, right? So now according to the rules we are doing the changes. First of all, said to, it is changed into requested. So we are having the boy requested them. Now we are removing the commas, and in the place of commas we are using one conjunction, that is to, right? Because we have read in the rules that we can use to infinitive. So we are writing to let him work then. So now we have to do the other changes. Me is a kind of pronoun. We are having one pronoun here, and me we all know that it's a first person pronoun, so it will be changed according to the subject. Subject we are having the boy. So for the boy we are writing him here, and now it will be changed in then. Why? Because yes, we have discussed some of the words that show some kind of time and place, and now it was also in that list, and according to that we are converting now into then. So here we are having first option that we can use. According to first option we are having the sentence, the boy requested them to let him work then. Clear? This is the first option. And yes, another option we are having, with the help of this we can convert this sentence into this one. So let's see what we are doing. The boy requested them. This is the change that we are doing here. Now as a conjunction here we are using that, and after that we are making one positive sentence, so we can say one kind of statement. So we are writing he might be allowed. So yes, in this second option we have to use this phrase, we have to use might be allowed here, and yes, to work then. So now the second option is the boy requested them that he might be allowed to work then. So in this manner we are having two options. In the first option we can use to plus infinitive, or we can say to let we can use. In the second option we can use this phrase, that is might be allowed, and this time the conjunction will be that. So yes, both the options are absolutely right. You can pick any one from these two given options. Now let's see. When let expresses a condition or supposition, it is changed into might, and the reporting verb remains unchanged. So now we are having the third meaning, or we can say the third mood, that is expressed with the help of a let. So the point is that when let it is expressing a kind of condition or a kind of supposition in a sentence, then what changes are there? So at that time we have to use might, and the reporting verb it will be unchanged. So now let's see the example. We are having Satish said, let it rain even so hard, I shall go. So after reading the sentence we can say that yes, in a sentence we are having a kind of condition. Yes, we can see one condition is here, because Satish is saying that let it rain even so hard, I shall go. So with the help of let we can say that one condition is there. So at that time according to the rules we are doing doing the changes, we are writing Satish said, because in the rules we have discussed that the reporting verb, it will be unchanged. So we are using the same verb that we are having here, said. We are not converting said and we are writing same verb here. Okay. Second, as a conjunction we are using that here. After that we have to make assertive sentence. So we are writing he would go however hard it might rain. So in this manner we have to do the changes. So the complete sentence will be Satish said that he would go however hard it might rain. Okay, so in this manner we have to do the changes. So this is all about imperative sentence, that if we are having any kind of imperative sentence, then what will be the conjunction or what changes will be there in the reporting verb. So all the rules we have discussed, and yes, we have seen so many examples of the imperative sentence. So I hope this category imperative sentence, the conversion of imperative sentence, that is clear to you all. And now next, moving on, we are having next category, we are having next type of sentence. So now we will discuss the conversion of optative sentence. So if we are having any kind of optative sentence in the sentence of direct speech, then what rules we have to follow while doing the conversion, that we are having here. So first of all, let's try to understand what optative sentence actually means. So optative sentence means if in a sentence we are having any kind of blessing, wish or prayer, so then we can say that it's a kind of optative sentence. So let's see the rules. Change the reporting verb said into wished or prayed. So yes, I have told you that optative sentence means in the sentence we will have any kind of blessings, any kind of wish, any kind of prayer. So according to that we are doing the changes. So now we have to convert said to into wished or prayed. Clear? Second point, use that to introduce the reported speech. Now as a conjunction, yes, we have to use that again in a sentence. Next point, change the optative sentence into assertive sentence and replace the sign of exclamation by a full stop. The third point is that when we are having optative sentence, then in the end of the sentence we will be having one exclamatory mark. But when we are doing the conversion, when we are writing indirect speech, so then we have to make the structure of the assertive sentence, and this is the reason that in the end of the sentence we have to use one full stop in the place of exclamatory mark. Okay, because जब तक exclamatory mark है, it means we are having a kind of optative sentence, but we have to make assertive sentence, we have to maintain the structure of the assertive sentence, and this is the reason we will write one pure assertive sentence, or we can say one statement, and in the end of the sentence we have to use one full stop. So yes, we will remove exclamatory mark, and in the place of exclamatory mark we will use one full stop, right? So now let's see the examples that we are having here, and all these examples are related with the optative sentence. So let's see. She said, may you succeed, my son. So yes, as I have told you that in the end of the sentence we will be having one exclamatory mark, and this is a optative sentence and it is having may in the beginning of the sentence. So students, I am sure that now you all can recall that when we were doing the models, when we were studying the topic of models, and then we were discussing may, and at that time we have discussed that may, it is also used to pray something, to give some kind of blessings. So yes, we are having may in the beginning of the sentence, and in the end of the sentence we are having one exclamatory mark. So it means that we are having one optative sentence here in the direct speech. Okay, and now we are doing the conversions according to the rules. First of all, said. Now in the place of said we are writing wished. Okay, so first of all we are writing she wished. Now in the place of commas we are adding one conjunction, and in the optative sentence our conjunction will be that. So we are writing that. Now we have to write one statement, we have to write one assertive sentence. So we are writing her son may, it will be converted into might, and succeed, and in the end of the sentence in the place of exclamatory mark we have to write one full stop. So the complete sentence will be she wished that her son might succeed. Okay. Next, he said to me, may you live long. So again, we are having optative sentence here. We are having may, and the end of the sentence we are having one exclamatory mark. So we are doing the changes. Said to, in the place of said to, we are writing wished here. So we are writing he wished me. Now in the place of commas we are writing our conjunction, that is that. So we are writing he wished that I might live long. In the place of may we are writing might. So the complete sentence will be he wished that I might live long. Next sentence, the saint said, may God help you. So again we are having optative sentence. May is there in the sentence, exclamatory mark is there in the big and the end of the sentence. So now we are writing prayed in the place of said. So we are writing the saint prayed. As a conjunction we are writing that here. After that, God might help me. In the place of may we are writing might, and you, yes, it's a kind of second person pronoun, so it will be changed according to the object. So we are not having any object here, so in the sentence we can write any object. So here we are writing me. Okay, so the complete sentence will be the saint prayed that God might help me. Right? So in this manner we have to do the changes if we are having any optative sentence. Next category, now we are having exclamatory sentence. This is the last category of direct speech. So now we will read all the rules that are related with the conversion of exclamatory sentence. So let's see. Change the reporting verb said into exclaimed, cried out, wished, prayed, confessed, applauded, etc. So now let's see very carefully what are the rules that we have to follow while doing the conversion of exclamatory sentence. The first rule is that we have to change the reporting verb said. So how we have to change? So again we have to read the direct speech very carefully. We have to observe the mood that we are having in the sentence, and according to the mood we have to do the change. According to the mood we have to change the verb. So for that again we are having so many options. In the place of said we can write exclaimed, cried out, wished, prayed, confessed, applauded, etc. Okay, so according to the mood we can pick any word from all these options, or we can have so many other options also. Next, omit all interjections and exclamations and convey their sense by means of suitable adverbs, or we can have adverb phrases like with joy, with sorrow, with regret, with impatience, with contempt, with delight, etc. So in this point we are having that in the sentence of direct speech, if we are having exclamatory sentence, so we can have so many interjections, or we can say exclamations. So what it means? It means all the words that actually show some kind of mood. Suppose if we are having hooray, so what it means? It means we are having some kind of happiness, right? If we are having alas, so alas means we are showing our sadness. So all these words that reflect any kind of mood, these words are known as interjection, or we can say exclamation. So if we are having all these words in the direct speech, so we have to omit, we have to skip those words while doing the conversion, and we have to add some adverb, or we can use any adverb phrases that actually suited that mood. So we can have with joy, with sorrow, with regret, with impatience, with contempt, with delight, or any other word we can choose according to the mood of the sentence. But that interjection word or that exclamation word, that we have to remove, that we have to skip while doing the conversion. Okay. Next, use the conjunction that to introduce the reported speech. Again, in the exclamatory sentence also we have to use that as a conjunction. Next, if an exclamatory sentence begins with words like how or what, omit them in the indirect form of speech. Express their sense by using the words like great, big, or very. So if we are having how or what, such kind of words in the beginning of a direct speech, so while doing the conversion, again we have to omit these words, we have to skip these words, we have to drop these words, and we can use any word like great, big, or very to convey the meaning of that word. So one important point we are having, in the indirect speech we say wish to good morning, wish to good evening, wish to good afternoon, etc. But we say bad goodbye, bad farewell, bad good night. So what it means? It means जब हम पहली बार किसी से मिलते हैं, if we are wishing something like we are saying good morning, good evening, good afternoon, then we have to use wish, right? लेकिन जब हम किसी से मिल नहीं रहे बल्कि हम उसको बाय बोल के जा रहे हैं, if we are saying goodbye, farewell, good night, so then we don't use wished, then we use this word that is bade. ओके, सो जब हम किसी से मिल रहे हैं देन वी हैव टू यूज विश्ड, लेकिन जब हम किसी को बाय बोल के जा रहे हैं देन वी हैव टू यूज बेड, राइट? So now let's see some of the examples. First one is, she said to me, good morning, how do you do? So in this sentence we are having two type of sentence. Good morning, this is a kind of exclamatory sentence, and how do you do, this is the interrogative sentence, right? So according to that we are doing the conversion. First of all we are converting this part good morning. So for that we are writing wished and we are saying she wished me good morning. Okay, next we are having how do you do. So for that we are writing and asked how I did. So this is the same conversion that we have discussed when we were doing the conversion of interrogative sentence. We are using same WH word here, how, after that I and did. So the complete sentence will be, she wished me good morning and asked how I did. Clear? Next one, he said, what a beautiful sight. So here we are doing the conversion. We are having one exclamatory sentence. So according to that we are writing, he exclaimed with joy, because it is very much clear that there is some person and he is very much happy because he is having a very beautiful sight. He is having a very beautiful view. So we are writing here, he exclaimed with joy. Okay, अगर ये mood clear है that in the sentence we are having a deep sadness, so we can write he exclaimed with sorrow. But if the mood is not clear, so we can write only exclaimed, right? So we can also use he exclaimed that. But now here in this sentence it is clear that the person is very much happy, so we are using he exclaimed with joy. Now in the place of commas we are adding one conjunction and we are adding that here. After that we are making one statement, one assertive sentence. So we are writing, it was a very beautiful sight. So yes, we have to skip, we have to drop what, and we are writing very here in the sentence, and the complete sentence will be, he exclaimed with joy that it was a very beautiful sight. And in the end of the sentence we are using one full stop in the place of exclamatory mark. Okay, clear? Next, I said, how sad he is. So now we are doing the conversion and we are writing, I exclaimed. We are writing that as a conjunction, and after that we are making assertive sentence. So we are writing, he was very sad. We are skipping how and we are adding very. Okay, complete sentence will be, I exclaimed that he was very sad. Next, she said, alas, how foolish I have been. So we can say that alas is a word that is showing a deep sadness, and next is how foolish I have been. So according to that we are doing the conversion. We are writing confessed with regret, because she is regretting this thing now, that she was very foolish. So we are writing that she confessed with regret that she had been very foolish. So students, according to the mood of the sentence, you can use the words, you can pick any adverb or adverb phrase in the sentence. Okay, conjunction will be that, and after that you have to write one statement, you have to write one assertive sentence, and the end of the sentence, yes, you have to write one full stop in the place of exclamatory mark. These are the basic rules that you have to follow while doing the conversion of exclamatory sentence. Next, more examples we are having. He said, what a big house it is. So we are doing the conversion. We are writing he exclaimed because mood is not very much clear. We can also write he exclaimed with surprise, right? But we are writing he exclaimed. We are adding the conjunction, that is that, and after that we are making one statement. It was a very big house. Okay. Next is, he said, oh, that I were a king. So yes, the conversion will be, he wished that he were a king, and exclamatory mark, it will be replaced with a full stop. Next one, he said, ah, my dog is dead. So it means, that person is very much sad because of this thing. So we are writing, he exclaimed with sorrow that his dog was dead. So yes, जो tense है वो हमें change करना है past form में, वो rule बिल्कुल same रहेंगे, okay? वो हमें मतलब skip नहीं करने हैं, वो rule हमें follow करने ही हैं. Clear? So now we are having some more typical type of sentence. So let's see. He said congratulations. So how can we do the conversion? Make a simple positive sentence and we can write he congratulated me. Okay, no need to change said first, no need to add any kind of conjunction here. We can write just one simple sentence, one simple assertive sentence, that is he congratulated me. Clear? Next is, he said good morning. So we can write he wished me good morning. So now we can see that in these examples we are not doing the conversion of said, we are not adding any kind of conjunction, but we are writing one simple assertive sentence. So in this manner we can do the changes. Okay. Next is, she said, thank you very much for your help. So let's see how we are writing. We are writing she thanked me, or we can choose him also, very much for my or his help. So if we are writing me, so then we have to write my. If we are writing him, so then we have to write his. Okay. Next is, he said, yes, I am mistaken. So we can do the conversion and we can write that he admitted that he was mistaken. Okay. Next is interrogative sentence beginning with shall. So it's something another point. So if we are having interrogative sentence and that sentence is having a beginning of a shall is there in the beginning of the sentence. So then we have to do some special kind of notice. Why? Because then we can have two types of sentence. The first type is we can have a pure future form. It means shall हमें पता है helping verb है, that is used in the future tenses. So अगर shall है beginning में, so it can be a pure future form of the sentence. And the second form, that in the sentence we can have one kind of request. So according to that we have to do the changes. Let's see the example. First one is, Suresh said, shall I ever forget her? So in this sentence we are writing that Suresh wondered if he would ever forget her, because in this sentence we are having a pure future form. Second example, he said, shall I open the window? So in this example we can observe that we are having a kind of he is asking to help. So we, according to that we are doing the changes. We are writing he asked me if he would open the window. Okay, so in this manner we can do the changes if we are having shall in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so students, we have covered so many topics in this video. We have seen the conversion of imperative sentence, the conversion of optative sentence, and the conversion of exclamatory sentence. I hope all the rules that we have discussed and all the examples that we have seen, everything is clear to you all. So students, we have completed our topic of direct and indirect speech. Yes, it's a very important topic for your exam and you have to practice very hard. We have discussed all the rules. So just look all the videos and learn all the rules. Okay, in the next video we will do some practice exercise. So just to be with me and see you in the next video. Thank you.